What's up? Big Herc 916, positivity, motivation, never settle for average. You know how we do it over here. Go to bigherc916.com, pick up some merch, grab you an original art piece, my new autobiography, Against All Odds, or a bar soap and wash your ass because Halloween is coming and you don't want to be scaring people with your funk. So do the right thing and grab your bar soap. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, share the channel. You know, I'm always lacing you up over here. And I just want to share something with you that can maybe inspire you and give you hope, because I know at times it feels like you're between a rock and a hard place. And one of the things that kept me going while I was in prison was I had a vision board. I had a vision board on my cell wall, and I had pictures of places, cars, you know, different little things that I would kind of aspire to pursue when I got out. Things that I felt gave me some type of purpose outside of prison. You know, things that, you know, that I could look forward to enjoying. Being able to wear a nice watch, going to a nice restaurant on the street, being able to drive my hot rod down PCH and look at the ocean and just, you know, cruise the highways and have my fish tank again. You know, I like fish, and you know, I dreamed of having a nice fish tank and a nice house and all these different things. But I would look at these things before I go to bed, just as a reminder that there was life outside the prison, and that this was temporary. That being in prison physically was a temporary thing, but mentally I wasn't in prison. Mentally, I was on the streets, and I felt like I was just like kind of like in suspended animation. And whenever the COs would come around to look into different cells, they would always stop at my cell and look at the wall, and I would go by and just peek in and see what they were doing, because they'd be in there for a while, but they weren't tearing up the cell. They were looking at the pictures that I had on my vision board. And you know, they would always see me with book bags and always reading and doing stuff. And you know, they would ask me sometimes, Herc, you know, and they didn't call me Herc, but I'm just using that as a reference. What are you going to do when you get out? You know, what are your plans, man? I see, you know, you always walk around here studying and doing this and that. And I'm like, I'm gonna start me some businesses, and, you know, I'm gonna write books, produce, you know, TV shows, movies, stuff like that. And they would just kind of look at me and be like, you know, that's interesting, because see, they were pretty much at the pinnacle of their career. You know, working there was the end game. There was nothing beyond that. And for myself, prison wasn't the end game, and I wasn't going to do all that time and get out and go work for somebody else and have them control the rest of my time, my freedom. So I had plans when I got out of prison that I was going to do some things, and you never know how things are going to turn out. I mean, I didn't have any Hollywood connections or any producer connections or any publishing connections. I just kind of like did my research and navigated that journey, you know, as it came along. But I always kept my mind out of prison. I had a subscription to Hemmings Motor News, and Hemmings was a car magazine, kind of like a periodical, and it talked about classic cars. It had cars for sale, and I would fantasize about the cars I would buy if I was out, what I could flip, what I would keep, what I would do to this car. This is a good deal. I would watch the prices, and I'm like, man, when I get out, I'm gonna buy and sell cars. I'm gonna flip classic cars, and I would read that magazine or periodical over and over again in between, the legal stuff. I would take a break from the legal stuff, and I would read, the different car magazines. I would also, read like Vanity Fair, Forbes. There was another guy, he used to get the DuPont Register. He would let me read his DuPont Register and the Rob Report. But I never just, put a cap on what I was capable of doing out of prison. And I didn't say because I had been in prison, I couldn't accomplish certain things. A lot of people would get mad, like, who you think you are? You're going to get out and live over here, or you're going to buy this, or you're going to do this. And I'm like, why not? Why does wanting to have nice things make you bad? Why you get mad at me because I want something? I don't want to just wear pro wings, and I don't want to, just walk around like a Neanderthal. Why are you mad at me because I want to do something righteous with my life after prison? And I used to get a lot of hate from, certain individuals, and most of them were brothers, man, that were mad because I aspired. There were some brothers that I learned about writing scripts and publishing books and stuff like that with also, and I give them brothers props because they laced me up on a lot of game as far as just the entertainment side and what to look forward to. Brothers from LA, dudes from Inglewood, some dudes from other parts of South Central. We would get in the library and write together and exchange ideas. But there were also, just a handful of haters, and they would be jealous of me looking at these books and aspiring to get out and do something on my own that wasn't slave mentality, And you got to watch out for those people on the street too. When you aspire for things, people feel intimidated and they feel threatened because it sometimes brings awareness to their own self, and they don't want to have to elevate their game, but they don't want you to elevate your game. They want you to be basically a crab in a bucket with them and just, stay down and be happy with that. And you got to get away from those people, man. The only difference in the prison, you can't get away from them. You got to learn to maneuver around them and be strategic. So I learned that, but I always kept me a vision board, man, and always had my little notebook full of, I'd cut out certain things and look at these things and be like, wow, one day. And I'm still on my journey. I'm still, working on producing my show on a major network, and I published multiple books, and I'm living my dream, man. And so I tell you, live your dream. Don't let anybody crush your dreams. Don't let everybody tell you can't do something because you came from somewhere and you're not from this background, or you're not from this part of the town, or this city, or this family. Man, aspire for greatness, man, and go after your dreams, and don't get attached to things that hold you back. Sometimes the people you think you're helping are actually there to keep you stagnant, and they don't even know they're doing it. They're doing it unconsciously, but they're doing it nonetheless. And you have to recognize, and you have to break away. And sometimes those people will call you dirty names and will cuss you out, but it's for your best interest if you really want to fulfill your maximum potential. So, hey, there's always hope, and you have to believe even at the darkest times. And there were some dark times, but I still believe, man. I kept my little magazines with me, man, and they would travel with me, and I would just look at them things and be like, one day, man, one day. And so your one day is coming too. So believe in yourself, man, and don't give up. Big Herc 916, never settle for average. Officially, I only got one real spanking my entire life. My mom did the best a 14-year-old could do, raising me with love and instilling values that will last a lifetime. I was a straight-A student and lived to make her happy. So how did I go astray? A horrible stepdad that stole my self-worth and invoked fear turned me into a person that I struggled to overcome. From skateboarding to selling drugs, gang banging in juvenile hall, I got caught the same way many young promising men get caught up. I struggled to find my identity, getting mixed up in shootouts, crime, and the adult entertainment industry. This roller coaster continued as I juggled college, hustling, and Hollywood, eventually catching a federal bank robbery case. I found redemption in prison while serving a 120-month federal sentence and came out a man on a mission. I became a social media influencer with over 500 million views on YouTube and a life coach mentoring people all over the world. This is my journey against all odds. Go to BigHerc916.com and purchase you a bar of soap, one of the books I've written, a hat, a beanie, a t-shirt, tank top, or some detail spray for your car. Lockdown's over. Get your yard time in. Exclusively at FreshOutSeries.com. Stop walking around with a crusty butt, smelly ball sack, and a funky hoo-ha. Big Herc said wash that ass. Pick you up a t-shirt at FreshOutSeries.com.